Ingeskakel op die groot ontbyt en ons gesels vanoggend heerlik baie heel wat sportsake. Genade, ek moet daarom ook iets sê want ek weet Jennifer het nou so baie gesels nou met die sport met Jacques en veral daai tennisspelers name. Ek kan nie glo jy het so al daai tennisspelers
name. Ek hou van tennis.
Dis fantasties. Ek het ewe skielik meer respek vir jou gekry.
Ag, dankie Francois.
Maar nou laat ek ook daarom iets sê oor Rolbal Suid-Afrika. Ons gesels met die president van Rolbal Suid-Afrika want ons het 'n span spelers gehad wat onlangs aan die Afrika spele deelgeneem het en dit in Namibië van die 26ste tot die 30ste Junie. En ons het 'n fantastiese span gehad wat baie goed gedoen het. En die president van Rolbal Suid-Afrika, Heather Boucher, is nou saam met ons. Heather, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
Wonderful to chat to you. Heather, I'm going to ask this question in Afrikaans because rolbal is 'n interessante sport. En mens dink as jy dit sien waar ons altyd by die rolbalbane ry, dan sien mens ouer mense rolbal speel. En daar's 'n stigma aan verbonde dat jy dink dis net ouer mense wat dit speel. En dan sien jy die gemiddelde ouderdom van die span wat nou in Namibië deelgeneem het, veral die vrouens, is 28. So dis nie 'n spel net vir ou mense nie, is dit?
Not anymore, no. Over the past 6 years, 5 or 6 years, the average age has dropped from the 70s and we're right down now to the early 50s. And most of the newer players that are coming in are between the 20 and 30 years of age. So that dynamic has gone right through the sport, from club level right through to an international team level. And hopefully we're just going to keep on going that way.
So why would you say that's the case, Heather?
We recognize that because it was seen as an old man sport, that we needed to change. So we implemented some plans to bring younger people in. And it's working. The plans are working. It's still not where we want it to be. We also recognize that our international team, what we call our gold squad, that's the team that our international players are chosen from, they also have been champions now for years. And they're not going to be there forever. So we needed to introduce a younger gold squad coming in so that we had a 5 or 10 year plan to get back the medals that we had in the past.
And there were a lot of medals during the African States Games in Namibia in end of June. I see the ladies team won gold for overall best ladies team of the whole competition. That's amazing.
Yes, and the guys as well, the boys as well, or the men as well. They also won gold overall. So we did very well, and it was a very young team. In fact, we had 5 or 6 new caps in that team. Wow. This year, all in all, we've had 8 new caps. Now, new caps means we've had new Protea players. And that's, in my day, that's a bit of a record. So it shows you that all our plans that we've had in the past are working because we're producing all these younger Protea players. And believe me, they have potential. We've just come back from the multi-nations in Australia, and we did very well. Not as well as we would have liked to, but for many of the players, it was their first international tournament. We're going to the Worldbowls in September this year, also in Australia, to Broadbeach, and we're hoping that we're going to do very well.
Heather, hoe populair is rolbal in Suid-Afrika? How many people actually do bowls?
Okay, we have a total membership of 25,000 people across the country. And that's not all, because many of the bowlers who play in business leagues, school leagues, fun days are not registered members. We're hoping to get them onto our books so that we can say that there are more than 25,000, but at the moment we've got 25,000 members, affiliated members. The nice thing about bowls is that it is one sport for everyone. No matter how old you are, we've got 6-year-olds playing, 7-year-olds playing. We've got 124 90 plus playing. So no matter what gender, what race, what age, you can play. You can play together. It's a mixed sport. We have men's and ladies and mixed. we had a tournament it was a men's pairs tournament where we had a 6-year-old playing with a 96-year-old.
Oh.
And they did extremely well. They got to, I think, the quarterfinals. So it's for everyone. We have things like mothers and daughters evenings, dads and sons evenings. We even have grandpas and grandchildren evenings.
Ag, dis wonderlik.
And then of course the children who are a little bit overweight or they're not sporty at school, we can provide them with bowls, and a lot of them achieve. We've had schools giving children badges, honours badges and colours for bowls.
Dis
So it
wonderlik.
is an up and coming sport.
Heather, ek sal tog graag wil weet, hoeveel tyd neem dit in beslag? Jy weet, as mens nou na verskillende sportsoorte kyk en hoe baie mens moet oefen, kan ek dink as jy nou op professionele vlak kom of dan nou spesifiek dan nou springbok vlak, dan gaan daar sekerlik heelwat voorbereiding in. Hoeveel tyd neem dit in beslag?
Okay, if you're a Protea player, okay, we're not Springboks, we're Proteas. If you're a Protea player, then you are expected to put in probably every day you need to deliver 200 bowls. So it's a lot of bowls, and practice makes perfect. We do have camps for our gold squad, and we have camps for what we call our advanced skills camp. That is for younger players where they fast track their skills. We've just had one recently at the Nest in the Drakensberg, very successful. 5 days, you talk, eat and sleep bowls. You have exercises, you do drills, you have psychological talks. It's just a full 5-day bowling week.
Genade, so mense het baie tyd nodig daarvoor. As jy nou sê 200 balle rol per dag, hoe lank neem dit? 'n uur, 2 ure se oefening, 3 ure se oefening?
A normal game of 21 ends with a fours takes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So you can have a session in the morning, session in the afternoon. But if you play on your own, that's where the 200 bowls come in, where you play on your own and you can play for a full morning and you've had your practice.
Wow, I think there's like a massive misconception. I'm sitting here and I'm quite surprised by the structures that you have in place and the fact that you say, you know, you go and you teach them skills and drills and stuff. I had no idea the structures that are in place. Heather, so I would like to know, so do they compete at club level, then provincial levels, and then you choose your Proteas from there, or how does it work?
Yes, they start at club level, and then obviously the clubs are within districts. And so then you compete at a district level. And if you're good enough, your district selectors send your name into the national selectors. And then the national selectors have a national camp. They have an advanced skills camp. And then from there, they choose the gold squad. And your international sides that go away to play an international come from your gold squad. But we also have national tournaments, like the inter-districts is a really big one. Each district puts in 3 teams of 8, a vets team, an open team, and what we call a B team. The B team are really feeders for your open side, and your vets are those people who are over 60. So those 3, that tournament is probably the highlight of the year. And then, of course, we have the Masters, which is the top 16 in the country. You are invited to the Masters, and that's also broken down into vets, those over 60, the Opens, and then we have juniors. The junior tournaments also, once a year, we have an under 15 national tournament, an under 18 national tournament, an under 25 national tournament, and an under 30 national tournament.
Heather, the funding, how does that work? Do you work on sponsorships or do you get any funding from government?
We do get funding from government. Obviously, that's on a project basis. So we have to put the projects into them, and it's really all around development. And I think that's where we've scored quite well. We've done well with our development, hence all the younger people coming in. Okay. When we first started with the government, they really focused on schools. And I mean, we didn't have anybody who went to school who played bowls. So we had to start from scratch. And it's taken us a good 5 years to get where we are now. The rest of the funding, we do try to get sponsors, but you know, sponsors are very difficult these days. So most of it comes from the affiliation fees from the members. And then we do tuck away a little bit every year to an international fund, and that funds our international players for going away.
Okay, very interesting. Wel, ek het nou baie meer van rolbal geleer.
Definitief.
Kan jy glo, nie geweet dit is so georganiseerde spel in Suid-Afrika. Heather, welcome. Oh, thank you for the work that you do. Not welcome, not again. Thank you for all the work that you do, and may you have many more youngsters joining the sport.
Can I expect you on the green?
I'm not that young, Heather. I'm really not that young, but
you're just the perfect age.
Ek hoor jou, dit klink baie lekker. Dalk moet ons dit gaan probeer, hè.
Dit is 'n fantastiese idee, ja.
Ja, Heather Boucher, dan die president van Rolbal Suid-Afrika wat saam met ons gekuier het. Bly ingeskakel vir nog ontbyt.